The CDC reports that depression and anxiety symptoms were more common during the pandemic. The results are set to be published in the prestigious journal No Shit Dummies. Let's get into it. What a week. While Idaho Governor Brad Little visited Texas this week to grumble about Biden's immigration policy with other Republican governors, his far-right Lieutenant Governor, Janice McGeachin, who also wants his job, passed an executive order banning vaccine mandates without the governor's knowledge. And I'll be honest, this whole story had me McGeachin my pants. Who said do better? Who said do better? Thank you for saying that. That's the feedback I don't want but need. And that's why we're here. A feedback loop to keep me in touch with people like you. Basically, the Idaho Constitution says that when the governor's out of town, out of state, the lieutenant governor is in charge. So she got the idea by from an article titled "Governors Hate This One Weird Trick." But here's the weirdest part: if the lieutenant governor also leaves the state, even for a second, the bizarre rules of secession mean the new governor is someone named King Ralph. But even more alarming, McGeachin attempted to activate Idaho's National Guard and send them to secure the southern border. That is wild. The governor left for the day, and she tried to march troops to the southern border. The general in charge of that said, no. We're not going to do that. Thankfully. So it was a real don't tell mom the governor's out of state situation. Fortunately, Little repealed the ban on vaccine mandates Wednesday from Texas. Meanwhile, Idaho actually has one of the worst COVID rates in the country right now. Only 42% of the state is vaccinated. But I'm sure a xenophobic, white supremacist, anti-science government has a comprehensive plan to fix that once they're in charge. Bottom line is this, Brad. You can't leave Idaho. No vacations. All vacations are planned. If you leave the state for even 5 minutes, the lieutenant governor will try to order troops to the Idaho-Mexico border. Everywhere you look, there is somebody worse auditioning. Everywhere. Every single level of our government. Everywhere we're like, what's the next decade going to look like? I don't know. Look at who's auditioning. It's not like the governor of Idaho is a cool guy we love. Anyway, former Vice President Mike Pence told Sean Hannity that the media's focus on the January 6th Capitol riot is meant to demean the character and intention of Trump voters. Said Pence, "I know the media wants to distract from the Biden administration's failed agenda by focusing on one day in January." Continued Pence, "After all, what's one day in January? Certainly not enough to make a man wake up screaming every night for months, drenched in a cold sweat and knocking dozens of Hummel figurines off the nightstand. It was one day and it's over. It can't hurt me. I mean, it couldn't hurt anybody anymore." Other than that one day in January, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the play? Of course, Lincoln was killed in March. And that was just one racist zealot. Meanwhile, Trump's lawyers are reportedly urging 4 of the former president's aides to refuse a subpoena for their files related to January 6th and reject any call to testify about Trump or his time in the White House, they said innocently. Frances Haugen, the former product manager who leaked thousands of pages of internal research, testified in front of the Senate this week on the numerous ways Facebook ignores the disastrous effects of his apps on teen girls, democracy, and society at large, while continuing to rake in profits. Facebook responded by attacking her qualifications, even though it has nothing to do with the evidence she's gathered, and added, "It's been 25 years since the rules for the internet have been updated, and instead of expecting the industry to make societal decisions that belong to legislators, it is time for Congress to act." It's a real, regulate me daddy moment. You know what I mean? That's what they're saying? Stop me. It's been 25 years since I had a bedtime. But you don't see me encouraging genocide in Myanmar. You know what I mean? What is the rule that Facebook wishes the government would make them follow? Why don't you write that down and pretend They did it. If you're asking the government to write a rule to stop you from doing certain things, why don't you make a list of the things you wish the government would stop you from doing and then stop doing those things? I don't understand what else we're talking about. They're Facebook. They are the biggest kid in the playground. What is the thing that they would stop doing that their competitors would do to catch up on them? Like, what are we talking about here? Yes, they're a global behemoth, wrecking our society, kind of rending at the fabric of human connection, monetizing it at every turn. But they're also just kind of like sleazy fucks. You know what I mean? Like, all of their communication just reeks of sleaziness. And it's funny because we don't use the word sleazy when we talk about giant multinational corporations with serious adults who took big paychecks with titles like Global Vice President for Corporate Communications, branding. You know what I mean? We don't call those people sleazy. It's the way we call Michael Cohen is sleazy, but David Boies, who's supposed to be a serious professional, is not sleazy. They're the same. Facebook's communications over and over again are just not fucking true. They never, ever address the actual issue. This person, at great personal risk, takes a bunch of documents out to show the world that internally in Facebook, they know their products are incredibly harmful to people. And do they address that actual concern? No. They attack her credentials, that she didn't have any fucking direct reports. Who gives a fuck? She stole good shit. They never are honest with us. And this is one of the most powerful and important companies in the history of our society, and they are never fucking transparent. Never, never, ever do they just tell the truth. Do they address an actual issue substantively? Take us at our word. Treat us like adults, the people that are their consumers, because we're all their consumers. Never. It is always eliding the truth and spinning and fucking sleaze. That's what they do every fucking day. I don't even know where this came from. You want to run the world? You can't be honest with it? You're so powerful. How much bigger do you have to get before you're confident enough in your actual views to tell the truth? It makes me crazy. And smart people work there. People who think they're Democrats work there. In Singapore, authorities have released trial patrol robots that blast warnings at people engaging in undesirable social behavior, leading to fear of an increased surveillance state. Yeah, I'd say so. Some examples of undesirable social behavior that the drones will discourage: telling your friends about a dream you had in detail, bringing up a friend's Instagram when you specifically deleted Instagram to stop seeing your friend's Instagram. Too specific. Making any reference to that kidney story from the Times. I'm going to break that one later. I have a correct view I need to share. Anyway, this feels worse than like straight up robot soldiers. Like social observer robots seems like the worst possible scenario. Like, I'm prepared for Black Mirror style armed robots, you know what I mean? But like kind of robots with like cultural opinions, I'm not really ready. Like, I don't need a drone to point out when I'm a weirdo. That's why I have John and Tommy. William Shatner, at the age of 90, is headed to space next week on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. It's wild to me that Jeff Bezos isn't satisfied to just be the richest man in the history of the world. He also wants to kill William Shatner. I want it to be an uneventful rocket ride for William Shatner. That's obviously what we all want. But it would be truly so funny if we had footage of Captain Kirk in space being like, oh my God, oh no, I'm so high, I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna fucking throw up. Oh my God, this is too high, I'm gonna puke. Captain Kirk's gonna puke. Too high. Scared. Shatner's scared. Because I'm a Captain Picard guy. The thinking man's captain. And you're going to throw Janeway at me. And that may be true. Haven't gotten to that series yet. Okay, I want you to applaud if you are competent in the sense that you have enough information to decide between Janeway and Picard. Now, only those people decide. Picard, Janeway. Wow. Okay. Misogynists. Authorities say the ruptured Southern California pipeline, which dumped over 126,000 gallons of oil into the ocean, appears to have been ripped open and dragged along the ocean floor. Go home, Godzilla, you're drunk. It was probably an anchor. When I saw that, I was like, that's alarming. That's the beginning of something. It was probably an anchor. I don't really want to point fingers, but we should check in with the Ever Given, you know? I never... that. Can't you see that ship getting into some new trouble after their whole Suez thing? Always making a mess of stuff. Ever Given. In Anchorage, Alaska, a group of violent river otters have been attacking adults, children, and dogs, which is weird because in West Hollywood, the otters are mostly peaceful. Maybe Alaska ran out of poppers. We did it. Another poppers jokes. Do you think too many? Too many? Too many. Too many? Thanks for the constructive criticism. Buckle up. We're doing one a week till the day I fucking die. Too many. What's the right number for you monthly? What are you looking for in a podcast? I don't want to know the answer. Here's the one thing I will say to you, sir. My hope is in the future we don't have to drive as far a distance to get to a poppers joke that you'll approve of, okay? That's the deal I'll make with you right now, all right? Was that a little jammed in? Sure, but that's why you need poppers. I'm also fast on my feet. Shut up. A man in California is suing a psychic for falsely claiming to be able to remove a curse put on his marriage by a witch hired by his ex-girlfriend. And I, for one, didn't think Grimes would be this petty. The CDC reports that depression and anxiety symptoms were more common during the pandemic. The results are set to be published in the prestigious journal No Shit Dummies. Produced by the people who do The Lancet. In other toilet news, I skipped a toilet joke. No, I'm not doing it. The punchline is that there was a 2,700-year-old toilet they found in Israel, and I was going to say it was Kirsten Sinema's. You can set it up however you'd like. At home. In other toilet news, Meghan Trainor and her husband, the man from Spy Kids, revealed that they have toilets next to each other in their home bathroom and pee next to each other a lot, which is a bizarre choice. How are they supposed to maintain eye contact? All I'll say is you don't need two toilets to pee at the same time. Just share the one. That's called an Arnold Palmer. I sent the article about the dual Meghan Trainor toilets to Ronan, and he didn't respond, but then he tweeted that he was filled with dread. On Thursday, Chuck Schumer announced that a deal has been reached to extend the debt limit into early December and scheduled a vote for Thursday night. Experts say we can expect more frequent short-term fixes to America's high-stakes debt battles as the country's uncut gemsification continues. That's what we are now. We're Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems all the time, just letting it ride. Then Ted Cruz, who is their Kirsten Sinema, said he'd object, which means Republicans had to find 10 votes to pass the extension, because if they don't find the 10, then that will leave Manchin and Sinema with no choice but to change the rules for the filibuster. And I guess they're afraid if Manchin and Sinema change the rules on the filibuster once, they'll kind of get a taste for it, you know? Like if there's like half a birthday cake left after the party and everyone goes home, and then you like have a little sliver. And then in the morning, there's no cake and everybody has healthcare. They did it too. They found the people. They found the 10. Which is actually, I think, a good lesson. Obviously, it's all nonsense. But it's like the second Cinnamon Mansion entertained the possibility that they might do a tiny thing to change the filibuster. Bipartisanship erupted. So just say you'll fuck up with the filibuster, you know? Meanwhile, Playboy made history this week when 23-year-old Bretman Rock, what a name, became its first openly gay cover star. And I guess that's great, but what is Playboy at this point? Like, what is it? It's a website with hot guys on front? Like, that is a fucking brand drift, if you ask me. I'm into it. I'm cool with it. You go to Hugh Hefner in 1950, whatever, when he's starting Playboy, and you're just like, this ends with a TV of hot guys. Okay. And finally, all of the lions and tigers at Washington's D.C. National Zoo contracted COVID. Why didn't the lions just wear masks, you ask? Pride.